remember the last time I was in I used to play roller hockey in Central Park with Rick Moranis of all people, right?
Oh wow!
And it was pretty wild. It was pretty fun. And every now and then you get somebody who's just overly aggressive when you're playing. Yeah, I mean, you played hockey. It's like we're just here to exercise. And this Russian kid was really kind of like really getting physical and elbows, and we're not in pads or anything. We're on rollerblades, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something. He goes, I go, dude, can you just chill out? He goes, what? Are you a cop? You're going to call the cops? You're going to call a cop? If I fight you, are you going to call the cops? I'm like, if I fight you, you're going to call the ambulance. He goes, well, let's find out. And it's like, if I didn't say that, I don't think it would have escalated to, it's like I trumped him. He's like, this motherfucker, now he's got to come back. And next thing you know, we're fighting. And I'm like,
on rollerblades.
You know, on rollerblades. Yeah, which is the most manliest thing to do in New York City.
Absolutely.
If you're not in Chelsea between 20th and 32nd, that's the wrong neighborhood to be that in, you know?
Well, but you also have enough hockey knowledge to know that Russians are pretty bad fighters usually. So you go in pretty confident.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those things where I remember I got him on the ground. I was on top of him. And I guess in hockey, you don't think of the ice as hard because you're skating on it. But I remember looking at the concrete, like if I drill this guy, his head's going to smash again. And I remember just kind of letting up. And the minute I let up, he kicked my legs out and got on top of me and went to town. And I was like, that was a mistake.
Yeah. That sucks. But also very funny though. Yeah, it's like what he said earlier. Looking at you, I would not expect this many altercations and fights. But good for you.
No, but I think sometimes you just kind of you say stuff. You know, like my wife shits on me about this all the time. But if I'm like at a movie theater, right, and you know, all of a sudden the line's starting to back up because, you know, movies these days, you can choose your seats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody will, you know, I remember last time we were sitting there and we're waiting in line and then the line's backing up and this girl's asking 1,000 questions. And then it's like, do you want to choose your seats? And she's like, I don't know. Where do you want to sit? Where do you want to sit? And I'm just like, oh my God. Like I'll literally say, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because my wife is like, just shut up. Just wait. I'm like, Jesus Christ. How long? Just pick a seat. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And you can see the screen. Nobody, just sit in the middle. Sit, you know, and I will say shit out loud when I think most people don't say stuff. And I think that's why these things happen, you know?
Well, don't let up.
They don't as much as they used to.
Have you ever backed down from a hockey fight?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there's times where it's just like, why would we? Like, I stopped playing in Pasadena because there's a bunch of guys that have been playing for 5 or 6 years and think fighting is actually part of the sport. It's like it's a part of it when you're swaying a game with stakes, but when you're in a men's league, there's no need to genuinely fight. I just don't think that there is.
It's a part of the NHL. Not this,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
I was in
and
a
the
men's...
rule, and the thing is, yeah, I mean, you know the classic. We're not playing for the cup tonight, asshole. So let's just chill out.
I still don't know how I feel about this. Like you and the Karate Kid, he convinces him to do that thing because he's like, I won't be centered inside if I don't go on for this fight. Well, anyway, I'm playing men's league ice hockey, and it's a playoff game. We're against our rivals. For whatever reason, our team and this team were very evenly matched for years. Yeah. And we genuinely disliked each other. And there's a guy on the other team, and he's throwing his body around more than a no-check league should have, you know?
Is it a no-check league?
It is. But every time there's like a battle in the corner for the puck or something, his elbow's up at like neck and face level. And you know, he's chippy. He's super chippy. And I said something to him. And we're lined up at a face-off, and we're not at the face-off. We're on the corner. You know, if people don't know, there's two guys doing the face-off, and then on either side of the circle, there are two.
I like what's happening. Let me get a knife and a fork because I'm ready to bite in. I like what's happening here.
You won't like it though, because he turns to me and he's like, "You want to go?" He's offering me to fight. He wants
to drop the gloves.
He wants to drop the gloves, and the second the puck drops, stop play and engage in a fight. And I look at him, and he's smaller than me, but he's a tough-looking motherfucker. He's missing at least
a Taidomi kind of.
He's missing at least 4 teeth, and the ones he has are pointing in all kinds of different directions. And he's just scrappy. And I'm a computer programmer, and he's clearly something physical for a living. And I say, no.
What are you, nuts?
That's great.
I'm too valuable for my team. I'm one of our leading scorers.
I can work at 8 a.m., you asshole.
Don't
Yeah,
you have
that's
a
so
mortgage and a
funny.
wife? And we didn't fight. Yeah, that's.
I like to imagine that none of his missing teeth had anything to do with hockey.
I think that no, he didn't wear a cage.
Gingivitis.
Yeah, gingivitis.
Dude, you're a fucking retard if you don't wear a cage in men's league. Like, you have got
Yeah.
to wear a cage. You got work and shit to do.
I don't
Dental shit
understand.
isn't
No one-
covered. Yeah.
No
I don't
one's
understand anyone who
picking
doesn't.
corners and knowing exactly pinpoint passing. The puck could go anywhere at any moment and get deflected.
I saw a
You
girl
never
take
know,
one in the
so
head in
I
the
agree with
crowd
you.
once.
Yeah.
Like,
Sticks too. Half the
Pitcher
time it's a
Columbus
puck.
died.
Half the time, like my stick's on this side of you and I want it there. Okay, that's the plan. You know, it'll catch it every game. There was something that made me happy. I wore a cage. Sometimes it was to me, sometimes to somebody else. But every
Yeah.
game, the belief was reinforced.
yeah, safety equipment is so important. Like as a kid, you might think it's lame or whatever, but like as you grow up, like we're working with power tools or playing sports or whatever, and that safety equipment like saves you, and you get like evidence of that. You're like, oh, never again am I not wearing these fucking safety glasses. Never again am I not wearing these gloves. Like I don't know how many times like my eyes or my hands have been saved by a piece of safety equipment.
I went
When I
through
was
the
in
same
high school-
evolution. But you can go. You
Okay.
go.
No. When I was in high school, I used to coach or be one of the coaches at a hockey camp, like a specific goalie camp. But of course, they have a bunch of, people out there, players, high-level players to shoot. And so you can kind of demonstrate the drill. And I was only like 17 or something. But I remember like none of the goalie coaches had to wear masks, even when they were like doing the drill, where it was because you'd like be talking to people. And the main guy was like, hey, Taylor, get in there. Ted's going to take a couple shots and, show where you're supposed to come out to the corner and then slide back to cover the left side. And he's going to shoot it and you're going to catch it. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to feel like fucking Jacques Plante or some goalie from the 50s or 60s that didn't have to wear a mask. I'm going to be like fucking, Hextall out there. I'm going to be cool. And so I like went, did the drill, and I was expecting him to give me a muffin, just like a little, so I could catch it and demonstrate it. The people we're coaching are between the ages of 5 and like 12 or 13.
No.
And so, but like everybody's shooting is much older than that, obviously. And so I go out and I'm like sliding, not anticipating like a hard shot. And he gives me a little snapper, like not a hard shot, but enough that if that would have caught me in the face, I would be missing a lot of teeth, or if he would have not broken my orbital bone or something, or my nose. And thankfully it went a little wide and I shouldered it. And then immediately after, the guy was like, all right, Taylor, do it one more time. And I'm like, all right, let me just grab my mask real quick.